Last week I showed this whalebone that I brought back from Alaska when we went up there for vacation. And today I'm going to use this piece to make a pen. And what I'm going to do is cut this down and save this end for some casting. It has a real cool look to it, a lot of pores and bumps and whatever. So I'm going to use the meatier part. I don't know if that shows, but it looks pretty dense. I think when I cut in there it might be open up a little. I don't know. I definitely think this side will open up a little bit because I can see back in there and it looks kind of spongy, which is what I was after when I got this forecasting. But today, just to see how whalebone and bone like this turns and finishes, I'm going to go ahead and use more of the solid part. So if you want to watch, here it is. Okay, I got the whalebone all chucked up here. It's an odd shape blank, but I trimmed off some of the corners. And one thing I did, because I noticed how porous it looked on the outside, was I used some thin 2p10 on it, and that way I kind of stabilized it in a sense that maybe some of those chunks that might be more prone to breaking off might not, and I can actually get it down, cut how I need. The material that is hard is really hard. When I was trying to square up the ends, it was harder than like a true stone, for example. It was way harder. So the material that's hard is super hard, but then it's got a lot of porous material with it, and that definitely makes it a challenge to turn and even get to this stage. That's where using a thin glue to hold it all together is a good idea. And like I said, I used the 2p10. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this now, and then I'll probably need to apply some of that as I turn it down, because I'll be cutting off the glued part, and then I'll want to do it again and again and again until I get to the end. So hopefully this goes smooth, and I'm going to start spinning it now. I got the bone finished. It actually came out really awesome. I've never turned bone before, and this has a really cool texture. It definitely looks unique. A lot of pores, a lot of cracks. What I did, like I mentioned before, I continually put CA over it, and I just filled those line cracks or hairline cracks with the CA, and it actually came out really smooth. I used my normal wood finish on it, and wet sanded it just like I do the other pens, and it came out really cool. I think it's going to be really neat. That one bone, although expensive, will make a lot of pens, so I think it's going to be a good investment there. I'm going to go ahead and put this together, and I chose for this practice, you know, hoping it would come out okay, a bullet twist pen, and I think it's going to look really great on it. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to make that the bottom and that the top. And with anything else, you know, you line it up how you think it'll look the best. And I'm going to go ahead and use this this clamp for putting this together. And let me show you why I do this. These parallel clamps, this happens to be a Jet, but you could use a Bessie or a Irwin or whoever. But these parallel clamps are probably the greatest thing I use on a regular basis in the shop. And I've never been a fan of the pen press. I don't like the flex and the way they work. And I recently, I know a lot of people use the I don't know what they're called, the hand squeeze clamps, pressure clamps, and I used those in the beginning and I always broke them. I probably broke 20 of those things over the years. And one day I was like, oh, you know, I just need to put something together real quick, and I grabbed one of these and I've been using it ever since when it doesn't fit in my arbor press. And the reason being is these clamps are perfectly square. You can adjust them to any length really quickly and easily. And you've got an amazing amount of pressure here in this handle. So when you're twisting this, it's applying an amazing amount of pressure, and it's square, which I think is the most important thing. So if you start this square and put it in this, it's going to stay square. Now, that being said, if you start it and it's slightly crooked, this is going to exaggerate it because it's going to press it square. So you always want to be careful, you know, that you're starting square. You want to get it lined up. What I'll do is apply a little pressure, take it out, turn it, make sure I'm square, and then keep going. One other quick tip with this, with using this clamp as a pen press, is I always put a clamp right on the end here, and here's the reason being, is I can put my clamp up against this, and then when I go to push this, I'm not sliding the clamp off the table. So having this clamp here allows me to move that one very easily and then apply pressure. And I don't know how well that's going to pick up, but I mean, it just goes together so perfectly. And then I can loosen it, make sure I'm pressed all the way around, rotate it if you'd like. And I have one of these clamps, it's not this one, but I have one of these that I use regularly that I put felt in here. And that way I don't booger up any parts, but it's my choice for putting pens together. It's a great way to efficiently put a pen together. So that being said, here's the whalebone pen, just like that, and you got a pretty nice pen. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're looking for pen blanks or anything else, check out the links below. I put the products I use, so if I don't actually use them, I don't put them there. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and make them. Thanks for watching.